Hey all, it's Laura, and today we're going to talk about some of the popular YA books that I haven't read yet. You know when you join BookTube or start joining online bookish internet discussions, you're swamped with all the books you haven't read yet. So a lot of what I've done the past year is read many of these popular YA titles and get caught up, and so I can join the discussions. So when I don't know what's going on, I feel left out and excluded. So I definitely prefer discussions about books, talking about specifics and plot points and feelings and all those sorts of things. So when you haven't read something yet, you're SOL and can't join those discussions. It's funny for me to think back on the books that I hadn't read at the time and trying to make sense of the fandom. I thought that Adam and Warner were the same person in Shatter Me. I understand my mistake now. I completely get it, but I thought it was Adam Warner, not Aaron Warner. It's fine. It's cool. Additionally, I thought that The Mortal Instruments and The City of Bones were completely different series because I just never took the time to actually search up the information. I just was like, oh, TMI and City of Bones, City of whatever, completely different. This is the type of stuff I'm talking about. When you don't read the books, you feel left out. Additionally, I didn't know what Jace's last name was because I saw all the different variations of it, so I thought that I don't know what I thought. I just was confused about who this character was. So that's another funny LOL moment. As a caveat for this list, YA is written for teens, so while it might not appeal to me as an adult reader, it totally does not invalidate your choices to read these if you're a teen or an adult or whatever. So in no particular order, here are some of the popular YA books that I haven't read yet. I've talked about this series quite a lot and why I haven't read it, and it's because I need a reread of this series before, and that is the Heroes of Olympus series by Rick Riordan. I read Percy Jackson at the very least, 8 or 9 years ago. It was a very long time ago. Eons have passed since I first read the Percy Jackson series, and I've only read it the singular one time. And these are also hefty. Also, there's 5 of them. Also, there's the other spin-off series about the Trials of Apollo. I'm going to get to this. So this is one of the ones I haven't read yet because I just don't want to put all the effort into one world all at once. I need to space it out, but I need to reread everything. And it's overwhelming, so that's why I don't think about this very often. This next book is one that I know I'm really gonna love, and I'm really gonna enjoy it, and I'm gonna really enjoy everything from this author because I've only read their 2 short stories. I've only read 2 short stories from this author, and I enjoyed both of them, so I'm of course you're gonna love a whole novel. Why don't you just read the whole novel? And that is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. And so, I know I'm gonna love it. I know I will. I already can tell and know. There's literally no reason for me not to read this by now. I need to. I just haven't. I'm going to read it. This is actually all the books that I own, I actually will read. It's the books that I don't own that I really want your opinion on whether I should read it or not. I know I need to read this. I know I do. It just hasn't happened. Why haven't you happened? The next book I also should have read because whenever I meet an author and get the book signed, I'm a little bit more interested in reading that book as soon as I've met the author. I should have read Illuminae by now because I've met Amy and Jay. My book hadn't come in yet, so I had them sign a sticky note and I put it in the book. Quality. So I know I'm gonna enjoy this as well because it's super interesting and cool and different, and I even was interested in this book before BookTube. Also, it's been hidden on my bookshelf. It was on the second layer of books down there, so I haven't seen this book in 2 months, so I kind of forgot I had it. We need another one. It's been a year since I got this. How did this happen? It was full when I got it a year ago. But now it's overflowing. It is double stacked. My bookshelf is a double stuffed Oreo. It is to the brim. You think you can fit more, but you can't fit more. If you made a double stuffed Oreo and triple stuffed Oreo, it would not fit in your mouth. And right now, my books are not fitting on my bookshelf, so I need another one so that I see this book and remind myself that I need to read it. Next up is the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy by Laini Taylor. I just met Laini Taylor a couple weeks ago, so it's still pretty fresh. So I'm still kind of in that window of time where I've recently met the author and then I want to read their books so that way I feel more connected to the experience of actually meeting them. But it's signed for Laura. I have authors sign their favorite cookies, and hers are macarons. Macarons are faux show cookies. Anyone that doesn't agree with you on that, you don't need that negativity in your life. I will read it because I own them and have them all signed now, so I would feel guilty about unhauling this. So hopefully I like it. That's the danger about going to book signings when you haven't read the book and you don't know if you like it, because then you're I've just committed to buying all their books and having them all signed and personalized to me. Yeah. Sometimes I don't make the best decisions. I never said I was a role model. And the last book on this list that I own, that I know I will love, that I know I really want to read, all the time, I think I'm why haven't you read this book yet? I just think about all the reasons why I haven't done it, because I'm scared. I am terrified of actually finishing this book, and that is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I read Six of Crows like my first month on BookTube, one of my favorite reads of 2016. I adored and loved it. Something bad's gonna happen in this. I don't know what. I don't know why. I see the hints on the internet, and like luckily I haven't been fully spoiled. Like, thank you very much. I appreciate that greatly. I'm scared. Like, I'm so scared that like the Six of Crows are no longer gonna be like 6. Like, they're gonna be like 5 or 4 or 3 or something, you know? I pre-ordered this so I would have it immediately, and I still didn't even read it then. Why are you the way that you are? This is like an irrational fear. Like, I know I'm gonna love it. I love Leigh Bardugo's writing. I love The Crows. I just am scared for no reason. I just need to buckle up and do it and be a good big girl, okay? I just need to do it, and I just haven't. Okay, so when I tell people that I haven't read this series, I probably get like the most exclamations and the most like, what are you doing? Why haven't you read this yet? Like, probably like the most quizzical brows appear when I tell them that I haven't read this series, and that is The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. So I saw this book at the library like 4 or 5 years ago. I saw Cinder on the shelves and I was intrigued by it, but not enough to actually read it. And I was like looking at it, I'm like, this is a book I want to know what happens, but I don't actually want to read it. And so I looked up the whole Wikipedia page of Cinder to find out the whole plot. And now I kind of want to read it because everyone gushes over it, but Winter looks huge, and then there's like 4 books plus a novella bind-up plus a graphic novel, and it's just a lot more than I want to commit to. Additionally, I don't like the typeface it's printed in. Like, it's just, my eyes aren't going to easily read that, so I know I need to do an ebook or an audiobook, and that just is more effort because it takes me longer to get through ebooks because I forget that I have them because I don't see them because they're on my device. Like, in the past year, I've had both the physical and the ebook checked out to me, and I never actually read them. As with all of these books, like, don't be mad at me that I haven't read them yet. Like, there's so many books. Like, I read 130 books a year, so I'm trying to catch up on things so I can understand and join in on the discussions about things, but like, I just haven't read The Lunar Chronicles yet, and it's just, I know. Another YA series that I actually do want to read, except maybe I don't want to read, I haven't decided yet, is The Maze Runner by James Dashner, which I really loved the first movie, and I've held off on watching the second movie until I've read the books, but I actually don't know if that's ever going to happen in my life. I probably will, but now there's like a spin-off series, or is that a different series? I don't know. I haven't done the research to know how many books I'm committing to before I like discount this series entirely. Like, if it's just the 3 and I don't need to read, there's like the rule of thoughts and the game of minds, but if it's just the 3 books, like, that's doable. But if I have to read these additional books, like, I'm a little wary about that. This other series is one that I know I'm gonna love, and there's really no reason for me not to have read it except knowing that there's just already all these books on my bookshelf, so why do I need to go out and buy a book or rent it from the library when there's all this other stuff I need to read? And that is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, which I know I'm gonna love. I know it's super hyped. I know that like a lot of people really enjoy it and have a lot of good things to say about it and like are really fanatical about it. I just haven't had the time, y'all. But right now, I just can't. Like, it's not possible when I'm already like in a reading slump like 50% of the time. My time is basically split between reading slump, speed reading books that I love, and then a book hangover from those books that I love, all the way back to reading slump, and that's how the cycle continues. So if we didn't have the reading slump phase, I probably would have already read all of these books by now. It's just the timing and the slumpingness. And then I just would be super remiss if I didn't mention this book. It's The Outsiders by Essie Hinton. Some of my siblings have had to read this in school, some of you might have had to read it for school, but recently she's kind of shown her ass on Twitter. Like, if you haven't seen these, rethink this book, which I know just hit its like 50th anniversary and a lot of people got free swag and free copies of the book, but like, I'm watching all y'all real closely. Like, this isn't a book or an author that I'm anywhere interested in supporting. Like, I understand that people consider it the first YA novel as part of the history of whatever, but like, I don't give a crap. Like, I don't care. I just can't care about an author that dismisses her teenage readers so callously. Like, that's who you're writing for. Like, that is your audience. Like, you could offend me all you want, but I'm an adult. So The Outsiders is the book on this list that I definitely will not be reading. Like, I kind of get the idea of the book, but I don't need to read it if this author's being super homophobic. Like, that's not something I want to endorse. So this has been a list of some of the popular YA books I haven't read yet. Let me know down below if I should bump one of these up to the top of my TBR, if I should like nix it entirely. Like, I really want your opinion, especially if you've read these, because then you're recommending books to me and I'm recommending books to you, and it's a two-way street here. Yeah. My name is Laura and this has been Bookies and Cookies. I post videos sometimes and I love each and every one of you, and I hope you never forget it, that you are loved, you are valued, and you matter. And remember that it's okay if you haven't caught up on your TBR, because hell knows I haven't. Thanks, y'all. So we're just gonna go through my listy poo. Who lets you on the internet? Literally all of my bloopers are me talking about either my eyeliner or who lets me on the internet and who allows me to booktube. Like I could just have a blooper reel of those two things and it would be like an hour long. Finger guns, real classy, real cool.